The purposes of sex. God gave us the gift of sex for two purposes. What's the most obvious purpose? Right, babies. Procreation. Sex naturally leads to children. The second purpose is unity. A very special bond is created between husband and wife. Another way to remember these two purposes is babies and bonding. God in his very being is both one, fruitful, by living in his fruitful, self-giving love, and two, unitive, because God is a trinity or union of persons. So it makes sense that the gift of married sex, which contains these exact same elements, would be the perfect sign of the love of God. Here's what the Catechism of the Catholic Church says about this. Catechism 2363. The spouse's union achieves the twofold end of marriage, the good of the spouses themselves and the transmission of life. Good of the spouses, meaning unity, bonding. The transmission of life, meaning procreation, or babies. These two meanings, bonding and babies, or values of marriage, cannot be separated without altering the couple's spiritual life and compromising the good of marriage and the future of the family. Our faith teaches that the procreative and unitive aspects of sex, by God's design, should never be separated. Every act of sexual intercourse should be open to the transmission of new life and should be a loving act between the husband and wife. What three things does the Church say will be harmed if we separate babies from bonding? 1, the couple's holiness. 2, the unity of marriage. And 3, the family. When we look at our world today, do we see a radical shift in the way that sex is now looked at by the prevailing culture? Do you think it has harmed the faith of those who regularly separate these two aspects of sexual union? Those who view sex as a right, which shouldn't necessarily lead to babies? Do you think that the prevalent view has led to any harm to families and to our society? There are many harms done in many areas of our lives when we don't follow God's plan for sex.